Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ lessons they come. So both lessons are important, and today's lesson is somewhat short because only one article is important. So we will have some time here, and I want to discuss something with you regarding your preparation. You see, it is not the time when you are thinking about things and you face a depressive stage, or you face a lack of motivation or something like that, because it is the time when you are in between the process, and it is not the time to think, and it is just the way that you improve your ways you just manage your preparation. Every day you need to be in time, you need to be in a perfect timetable of yours, otherwise it is going to be impossible, I'm telling you, because the competition is so tough, and people are making organized efforts there, and only those are getting selected there. But it is possible that you will also get selected, but it all depends on your sacrifice, and sacrifice means leaving your wishes aside and just following the needed. So make small notes or copies for different type of topics, like for women's section, for farming section, for industrial section. You make different copies and you note down everything as these articles are coming. So important points you can write there. So in these pages you can divide the page in two sections. This is for prelim section, this is for main section, and regarding mains you can write points here, and regarding the facts you can write points here. In the end this will take time, but it will be a well managed information and well managed way that you can remember things very easily. It is going to be much more effective, and end result would be a bigger success rate, a bigger memorization rate. That's the case. Although you need to make efforts here, and these things will take time, but do not rush between the things, because you need to set things in your mind. You need to establish them as understandings and the facts in a separate way. So separate way this establishment would be there, and a connected way thinking would be there. So that is the case, if you can understand my words. So this is important, and most important thing would be the selection. So for that particular topic, selection, and in which way you must remember the things, we are discussing things in these two lessons. In the morning the article is coming, and in the evening the MCQs are coming. So follow them religiously and understand each and every line that is said, and go through these PDFs after these lessons, and that would be the way. And Pocket News app is trending on number 1, and you can download that on Google app. And regarding these affordable courses, you can get the information below the video. The description is given, and you can call on these numbers, and you can visit the website also. Chat section is also available. Telecallers are there, so sometimes they may seem busy, but if you will keep trying, then you will get the call there. And this is the group where I upload the PDFs, and you will find the Telegram's link also there on the page. And this is the Instagram's profile, you can follow me, and this is the Telegram channel's link if you want to type that on website. So you can get these PDF there. Now about the articles. In this page, second page is a regular page for Saturday. That is not something here to discuss, but you should go through that because it is talking about a very crucial issue. So that's a ground report, and here this article is not much important. You should read that. It's actually an abstract topic, and it is talking about the out of the box thinking issue. Means in the draft national education policy, the liberalized values, how they should be, how we should get that, and you should visualize things, maybe for essay writing, maybe for mains answer writing. Some topics would be like that these are not based on facts. These are based on your aspirations. These are based on your opinions, and how do you see the topic, how do you see the draft national education policy, and what kind of imaginations you have regarding a better policy, regarding the better implementation, regarding the kids, regarding the schooling time, and in which way do you think to be productive. So this is how this article by Krishna Kumar is important. Actually it is one of the most important things, but it is not something that we would discuss here, because we have a very important article to discuss here, that is regarding the agricultural growth and its contribution in the $5 trillion economy goal. So important for GS paper 2 and 3 here, and this would be applicable to all 1, 2, 3, 4 and essay topic to all. Here it is the issue of NRC. Supreme Court is asking that why you need re-verification for 20% of the data, because center is demanding that extend this deadline of 31st of July, but Supreme Court wants to complete this thing, and Supreme Court is monitoring this issue, NRC exercise, and it is going with a lot of flaws, a lot of problems, and a lot of people, lakhs of people are fearing that they would be excluded from here. So this article is talking about the same issue, and we will see what happens after 31st of July, because around 10 days are left, and how they are going to manage the situation in these 10 days, we need to see that. So let's come to the main article today. Green shoots of economic growth. You see, in any country, agricultural surplus is the basis of all the production, all the secondary sector, all the tertiary sector growth. It's a primary sector, and when we have agricultural surplus, then we think about the further processing, industrial growth and everything. So mining and agriculture growth, these two are basic things, primary sectors, but agriculture feeds us, and we are sustaining on the basis of that. But there is a clear crisis, and if it remains a crisis in this country, then you see very soon some years will become like when we are importing major agricultural items from other countries. So it will be a very difficult situation, because the basic thing that we eat something, and we are dependent on these producers, then we will have to buy that from somewhere else, because this way, if the crisis will go on, then most of the people will leave agriculture, and this is a real stressful, depressing state of a basic sector here. And we are making a goal, we are showing us a dream of a $5 trillion economy, and actually Mr. P. Chidambaram said that it is not a magic. Automatically after 5 to 6 years, every economy doubles. So maybe that thing is true, but maybe that thing is false. We don't know that. But the importance of agriculture would be there, and for that particular growth, why we need that and in which way it would be possible, this article is extremely important. It talks about investment, it talks about the pivotal role of data, the digitization, the management, and these softwares, and these technological help, and these integration with the markets, that is the thing, and trickle down effect. So how this thing is going to save this agricultural industry, because it's a kind of industry only, because we are giving employment to the major population. 70% people are involved here, and when 70% people are involved here, then it becomes the greatest source of livelihood. And if we compare it with the gross value addition, then the data is very scary, because 70% people are involved in this agriculture and the allied activities, and only 14% is the gross value addition. So it's a failed industry. It's a failed industry, and people are dependent on this employment, and it is not giving anything. Because yesterday we discussed this issue in the MCQ lesson, that for 28 rupees per kg, the mangoes, chosa mango, will be sold in Italy, 28 rupees per kg. And when they are doing a sea trial for the first time, so it will be sent through a sea route, so 28 rupees per kg would be the cost. Otherwise through air way, it is cost of 120 rupees per kg. But how much the farmer is getting? Farmer is not even getting 20 rupees per kg. That is the reality, not even 20 rupees. And leave about Italy, for how much we are buying that? From 60 to 150 rupees per kg we are buying mangoes in this country. So Italy is far away, or this country in its boundaries, or these states in its boundaries are far away. We have to think what we are doing, and why this major gap. 20 rupees by the farmer, and 100 rupees you are selling it to the people. Where these 80 rupees are going? This is the reason. This is the moral crisis. This is the corruption crisis. This is the supply chain crisis. This is the ignorance that is ailing this agriculture sector, and that's why we are intentionally killing these farmers, because being ignorant, the customer who is buying this thing for 100 rupees per kg, that is not questioning that how much you are paying to the farmer there. 80 rupees, where these are going? Extreme trouble. And people are getting richer and richer in this country with this particular margin, 80 rupees margin, and we have no question at all. And this supply chain, why this is disturbed, why these markets are not integrated with the farmers, why we cannot employ the unemployed people, the engineers of this country, or the educated people of this country. as a middle chain, because it's a great solution. Additionally, I'm telling you that this can be a great solution, that we need e-solutions. We need to connect these to the international markets or the commodities markets. So why this thing is not being possible? It can be possible. Employ these unemployed educated youth, and they will work like these call centers and all, and they will connect these farmers to the international commodities markets and the national commodities markets. So there would be no need of these middlemen. But these are eating the biggest share, the lion's share. So why we are not able to employ these kind of solutions? Swaminathan Commission was there, but recommendations were not accepted in its 100% form. Why? What is the reason? That was for a reason that they recommended a lot of things, and those were crucial things. Why you are not ready to implement those things, and why still protests are there? And today is the time that they are not even showing the protest. Railway protests are going on for 2 weeks, but they are not showing you on the television, so that the majority of this country, they would not know. But they know about the religious debates. They know that what opposition is saying. They know what the so-called secular gang is saying, so-called intellectual gang is saying, because they have labeled them in such a smart manner that nobody can question the government today, the authorities today, the administration today. Nobody can question that, because opposition is no more there, and these intellectuals, civil society groups who are questioning these things, they are not going to ask any question, because this kind of pressure is there. So we have a news today that one person, 80 years old, a professor for 5 to 6 decades, he is behind the bars, and a huge allegation on these people, and these people belong to the civil society of this country. So this is the reason that the agriculture condition is not improving, because who is going to ask the questions of the accountability here? No accountability. That is the reason. So let's see the solutions. Some issues. 14.4% is the share in the gross value addition. FAO report says that in developing nations, because there is a lack of political will and the policies are not designed in that way, and there is no focus, and that's why stagnant production is there. Otherwise it should have been a boom in the production, because the conditions can be there. It is possible, but it is made impossible intentionally. And agro processing, we need investments in exports. We need to make agriculture export oriented. Agriculture startups, we need, these are the modern solutions. Agri-tourism, that is the new concept. They say that the people are going as tourists in these villages and in these farming areas. So this can be a new concept, and that would support the farmers. This is unfortunate and this is very disheartening, but it is also a kind of a support for these farmers. You just imagine this concept. This is a new concept and this can be effective, but this should not be a situation, because if you compare the situation of farmers in Netherlands, America, UK, these farmers are rich farmers, but in India it's a crisis. People are killing themselves. Why? Because they are not able to pay these loans back, and you see the condition that 2.5 lakh crore rupees are written off for these big corporate houses. So what you can imagine in this country, this is a intentional crisis. This is not a crisis because of the monsoon situation or something like that, or just the overpopulation. It is a intentional method. So what kind of intentions are there? The people who are destroying this agriculture sector with utter ignorance, we must find out. And the issue of accountability should be there in all these solutions. Without accountability, all these things will fail. Everything will fail without accountability, because they will just show you the data. They will show you just these schemes we are implementing. They will show that this much plan we are making here, and this would happen this way. We will arrange that. We will arrange this thing, and we will do this, and we will achieve the target of $5 trillion economy. They will show very easily, and they will advertise it very smartly with these committed media houses. So that is the reason that all these solutions are great, and we are afraid that we will lose these solutions also. That's why the accountability factor should be there in addition. So we need agri education and research. Without research, we cannot employ these technologies, and we cannot get the best solutions there. Zero budget natural farming means whatever is failing, remove that. Whatever we are finding at outcome giving, apply that and give that budget to that technology. And livestock, we are the country having the biggest number of livestocks, but we cannot imply those technologies as they are applying these technologies in their big ranches in Netherlands, Denmark, UK, Switzerland, these kind of countries. So they are the best countries for dairy farming, and these are so small countries. India is so big, so huge the livestock population is, but we cannot apply those technologies. That is the reason. So at least apply those technologies. I would say, they say that we will employ next generation livestock technology, so that's a good move. But for today, apply at least those technologies which they are using for decades now. Even we are not using those because the affordability issue is there. So give subsidies for these technologies. Do not give these nonsensical schemes. These are not income support schemes. We need subsidy on those technologies so that they can give you bigger output. We need to invest in technology. We need to invest in agricultural assets. Otherwise, this crisis cannot be managed. You cannot manage a grain crisis with 2,000 rupees thrice a year. This will not manage the situation, and it is actually stressing the economy there. And you have all the excuses for these things. And these are not welfare schemes at all, because they are not helping in any way. These are a mere support systems, and for some months, for some days, these will be helpful, and these are not helpful at all. So we need agricultural subsidies like America is giving to its farmers. We need those things. Renewable energy generation. Kusum scheme is in front of us, very effective scheme. Solar pumps are being given there, but the execution is a problem. So there we need investment. We need investment in farm business organizations. Means we need to make these entrepreneurship platforms, these agriculture, and we need to connect them with commodities exchanges. As I told you the solution in the starting, that we can employ educated youth there, so they will connect these farmers directly to the commodities exchanges. And supply chain you can build there, so that we will not need these nonsensical ways where we are exploiting these farmers, we are sucking their blood, and we are intentionally killing them, forcing them to commit suicides, because this way they are exploited like hell. And we as consumers, we are paying the best value, and we are assuming that these things are reaching up to farmers, but these are not reaching up to farmers. They are not getting anything. And here we are paying 70 rupees per kg for tomatoes. Yesterday I paid 90 rupees per kg for mangoes. And how much this is reaching to farmers? No, nothing. So this is all a major trouble there. Structural weaknesses are there that we are talking for 2-3 years now in our economic surveys, but what kind of steps we are taking? How much recommendations we have applied there? That is to be questioned. That is to be a question of accountability. So we have to plug the loopholes, because whenever there is confusion in the scheme, confusion in the policy, there are loopholes, and there all kinds of corruptions will be there. So we need to check that where these loopholes are, where there are unclarities, and data is the prime thing. We need to have the proper data there, because data is the biggest problem. Whether we talk about employment, whether we talk about agriculture, whether we talk about the growth numbers, data is a major problem. So I am taking this article with this intensity because these are the best solutions available, and we should not miss those things, but we will miss them because the accountability factor is not there. So that we need to add here in all these solutions. Otherwise, these are the best solutions, and we should apply that. And you see, all these points are to be written in mains directly. The best things, because agriculture is the best thing to alleviate poverty, to hunger, and to the problem of malnutrition, to achieve sustainable development goals. Agriculture is the best thing. According to the BRICS data, it says that 1% growth in agriculture leads to 3-time reduction in the poverty, because these are the most vulnerable sections, poorest people, and they do not need nothing. They do not need anything. They just need their filled stomach. So 1% growth in agriculture produce that will fill stomachs for a lot of people. So that's the case. So these all are areas. And today, what kind of investment is there in agriculture research? That is 0.3%. So shameful these numbers are. 0.3%. 70% people are employed on agriculture, and 0.3% is the share of public investment in the research there. And in developed countries, 3 to 5% of the GDP. So you just see the numbers. and you said just see the issue of capacity, you just compare the issue of focus on agriculture sector, you will find the issues there. Next, Lok Sabha clears bill regarding NHRC constitution. You see, National Human Rights Constitution. We need to see what kind of composition is there. Chairperson, retired Chief Justice of India, or there may be discussions for a retired SC judge. Next, one member who is a judge of Supreme Court of India, one member who is a Chief Justice of High Court, two members who have the expertise in human rights issues, and 4 persons each, actually one member each from 4 national commissions, means total 4, who are the chairmen of the commissions for scheduled caste, SC/ST, women, minorities, and now backward communities also. And present chairman is H.L. Dattu. So this is the composition. So just to expedite this process, they are bringing this bill, NHRC constitution bill, and they say that human rights are a big issue in this country. They are not allowed sometimes to visit these jails and all, where a lot of crimes are happening. Custodial deaths are a major issue in recent 2 years, but Human Rights Commission is not able to work properly because these lags are there. So this bill is going to be very, very important, and how they execute that, we need to see that. Next, Center rejects SEBI's plea on transfer of reserves. You see, we discussed about the Vimal Jalan committee that discussed the issue of RBI's share for the government, that how much transfers should be there for the government. Now, government is finding ways to collect the money from where they can take this money for the expenditure. So RBI reserves are an option, government bonds are an option, sovereign bonds, they have shown us a controversial move, is an option, and FDI is an option. Now SEBI earns something, SEBI has its own reserves. Government says 75% of your reserves, give it to us, send it to Consolidated Fund of India. But SEBI says that how I can maintain my autonomy there with just 25% of resources. This is not acceptable. Mr. Tyagi wanted to amend this provision. He said that this is not justified, but government says no, you have to send it 75% of your reserves. So this is the news is all about. In the Finance Bill 2019, it was passed by Lok Sabha. They said that 75% of the surplus should be sent to central government. So some things which were not there in the past, now these things are being done, and these are newer ways of earnings for the government. One big issue is of the disinvestment. Again, that's a controversial move, that how much disinvestment should be there. You are making a very fancy target of 1,05,000 crore rupees, but is it justified? Now we have to see. Next, RTI bill introduced amid opposition flag. A major controversial issue. For many years, they did not appoint the Central Information Commissioner. This was brought up as RTI bill in 2005. This was the Act of 2005, and this act was so important that they made Chief Information Commissioner equal to the Chief Election Commissioner, so that the intensity is maintained, because it is as important as CEC is. That's why the salary, the tenure, all the conditions, they were very similar to Central Election Commissioner. But CIC, Information Commissioner, is a statutory body because established by this act, and CEC is a constitutional body because it is mentioned in the Article 3 to 4 of the Constitution of India. So the government says that it is unjustified. Why? Because all governments would not want to give information, because they want to weaken this body. That is apparently clear. The way they handled the Office of Information Commission, this is apparently clear that they want to make it a weaker body, and many informations were denied due to some national security reasons. They applied it anywhere, and they did not give information because information was the problematic thing. This was the information only which revealed many scams in the previous governments. So this was important, but now it is being weakened, and now they say that we cannot keep it parallel with the Central Election Commissioner. That is much more important. In their view, the salaries and their conditions and all, they should be lower than CEC because it's just a statutory body and that is a constitutional body. But how much justified is that? You can write a mains question. You can write a mains question on the agricultural article also. You can write that in 5 trillion dollar economy goal, how much justified this thing, and what kind of contribution would be there for the agriculture sector, what kind of challenges are there in the new age, what kind of new age solutions can be there. So you can write mains questions in these important things. Next, Tamil Nadu government opposes next examination for MBBS students. Government passed this thing that they need to pass a next examination. National Medical Commission bill is proposing a next examination, and that is for national exit test. Means 5-6 years course is there for MBBS students. They pass examinations also, but when they are about to get this license for medical practice, they need to pass an examination of next, and that is a controversial thing. They say that so huge this course is, they go for 1 year training also, and these examinations they are also passing. But why this next examination now? This is so hectic, and what do you want for these medical students? Already there are a lot amount of stressed in these studies, and now this examination, this is opposed by them. Tamil Nadu is also opposing the NEET examination, because this is again a universal thing. And you see, health is a state subject, we all know that, but these examinations are universal, so they may bring a lot of problems for some states. So that's why it is being discussed, and they are opposing the move for this next examination. Next, again an issue, 3 people are killed, and that is not even a cow, it was a buffalo. And they say that some people were taking it in the vehicle, and they caught these people as thieves, and they said that we will kill them, and they killed these people. 3 people are killed. You just see these heart-wrenching videos on internet, and what kind of new India we are bringing here. Totally problematic thing, and certainly we will lose this country for sure if this is going on. If this keeps going on, we will lose our diversity, we will lose our social fabric, and very ominous things and very dangerous things are on this way, because these things are not stopping, and they cannot happen without any political backing. That is for sure. That's for sure, because it is high time. Enough is enough. Apparently clear, these things are without political backing, these things are impossible, and this is not the way, because this thing is intentionally created. This kind of ambience is intentionally created, and very soon we will see an environment where for petty crimes people will kill some person, maybe a petty criminal or an innocent person also, because they will collect some people, 20-30 people will come and they will kill somebody. That is mob lynching. In Sonbhadra of UP, unprecedented issue we saw. More than 10 to 15 people are killed, and more than 2 dozens are critical in the hospital, and they were killed by a mob of 300 people. They came in vehicles and they shot all these people. So that is the case. So what is going on and what we are justifying, that's a thing to be discussed. Majority is justifying these cases. That is to be concerned, because the people who are not educated at all, actually they are literate but not educated, and they are supporting these killings openly. And the political parties, their response is also very apathetic, and that is showing that this is some case of a political backing to this ambience. And that's why critical issues, the agriculture sector is not being discussed there. They do not show that the protests are going on for railway privatization, but they will show you Ali Bali, they will show you all these religious nonsensical debates, and they will try to disturb you. Every day they are disturbing you, and these news channels, you can name these news channels, intentionally every day they are creating this environment, and that's why these things are happening. So this is not a problem of law and order, this is a problem of perception, this is a problem of ambience that we are creating intentionally. And again a case, the civil society is in a major stress, and this person, 80 years old person, behind the bars. Allegation is huge that they tried to plot the assassination of the Prime Minister, but this thing is not proved till now, but they are living a hell behind the bars. A professor for 5 decades, a member of civil society, and a writer trying to tell something to the society in its way, and behind the bars. And 80 years old person, nothing is given as a assistance, no chair, no mattress is there, sleeping on the floor, and no fan in summers. Now they have installed a fan in these monsoon time, and the button for that fan is outside the prison. So you can think about the situation of this country. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was